Okay, I'm here to speak about drug addiction, and I basically developed an index that for me is a way to measure the a country for how much is advanced based on my standards. So it's very personal. It's not something that is necessarily scientific. It works based on my observation, and it works based on what information I got already in country that tried to go more near to my way of thinking than other way of thinking. Um, I think drug addicts are kind of poetic. I always saw some kind of poems behind it, because when you think about the figure of heroin addict, you see, for example, in one day of an heroin addict, you could categorize, all the day of all life of everyone. So it's, what happened in this day. You have the low part, you have the peak, and after again the low part, and it's something that it happens only more slower in common people. Now, I'm not here to speak about the damage of all the consequence of doing heroin and everything else. Is not this the point? I only, it's something that somehow fascinated me, because I had some moments where I was writing poems, and I thought with myself, isn't that probably, you know, is that probably the most intelligent things to do, being an heroin addict? It's provocative. Many of my poems are provocative. So is that probably the best things to do? Like, if you think about it, you have an objective that you can reach, and you reach this objective, you're extremely happy, and after you stop reaching the objective, your body degraded, everything degraded, but it's not that much different of what, for example, someone that wants to build a company wants to do, or someone that wants to build a family. Is not that much different. So I'm here to speak about this because there is still effort for an heroin addict, for example, to go in the next objective or to take their next doses. So there is effort, and this effort is gets spent in going the next object, for example, instead of doing something else, right? Like, they try to feel better. Everyone in this world try to feel better. I'm not judging the way of feeling better. I'm judging, what they're trying to achieve. They're trying to achieve happiness, for example, right? They're trying to escape, right? So my point is, why they are trying to escape, okay, and why they're not treated as this? Why they're not treated as something that is trying to escape, but they're treated as, for example, junkies? They're called like this. Some people, they're called junkies. They're called disgusting animals. You see so much cliches, stereotype against those people, right? It's very hard if you think about it. There is a very it's very hard to understand probably their point of view. There is a very nice channel that is called Soft White Underbelly, and I think this channel is very nice, because basically it takes people from the street, drug addicts or whatever, and interview them. You can hear their voice, you can hear their opinion, and it's something that I did. I watched some videos, and you can see a pattern in them. This pattern is most of them, they get treated bad from society or from people around them, and they didn't have anything else to do, because there are some moments in the human psyche that you might go so down where you stop caring. And if you stop caring even for 1 second or 1 hour or 1 day, and you see that around you no one also cares, then your brain probably thinks, if I stop caring and no one else cares, then why should I care? Why should I start caring, right? It's egoistic, okay? I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying they're as much victims as as they don't get credit for. Like, my main point is that a drug addict, someone that uses drugs, someone that uses a lot of drugs, is a problem not of the individual but it's the problem, for example, of the government. Is a problem because the government treat them as waste. People treat them as waste, and this is wrong. And you say, yeah, but they use drugs, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they do use drugs. That's, everyone does, actually. You would be surprised by how few people doesn't use drugs. In a way or another, everyone uses drugs. That it might be sex, it might be, chemical drugs, or it might be sugar, or it might be food. Everyone does that. So why not changing the policy that we are right now in the world in a different way? Why there is not effort in doing that? Why, for example, I'm doing that? I think I'm right, or I'm open to discuss my point of view that I think goes in the right direction. This probably is not right, but it goes in the right direction. Why there is no way to do that? Because it's easy, Many things that are doing right now, politics, science, many things are doing in a lazy, probably not science. Okay, I'm still confident that research still has a lot, still has a lot to do. So probably not science, but many things, too many things are doing in a lazy way, and this lazy way is very simple. You're a government, and you're, for example, a government that is not that much rich, and in this government that is not that much rich, there are poor people, and you can't help them. So you give them, kind of the choice to see between drugs, okay, and not drugs. So what does it mean? This it means the government of a place that is not rich knows that there are drug addicts, okay, but it gives them the possibility of not using drugs by basically, it's complicated, okay? It's complicated because I'm not good in explaining. What I mean is that government that are not rich are happy to not decriminalize drugs. Are happy to not do that, to decriminalize drugs, because if they will do that, after they will have to spend money in rehabilitation of people, and they don't want to do that. They wanted to treat the people that use drugs as a criminal. By treating the people that use drugs as a criminal, they will basically have whatever power they can have on you. And this is bad. This is bad because it's, you're a person, and you are not a criminal if you try to escape for your situation that is very bad. You're a criminal if the situation that is very bad after, has something else to do. There are some consequences, okay? But if you only are trying to escape from the situation that is very bad, and probably you don't do nothing else wrong, you still get treated as a criminal. You might say, yes, but there is, for example, the cost of public health or blah, blah, blah. Exactly, the cost of public health. In some countries, you will get allowed to enter in the hospital because you might have, a drug addiction, but not in all countries. In other countries, they will let you die. Because if you have a problem, they will let you die. They will treat you as waste. And that's what they want. They want you to be waste. They don't want you to be seen as a patient. They want to see you as a criminal. And this is something that really bothers me. Drug addicts are not criminals, are patients, are victims of their surroundings. They need to be helped, not get pushed further, put in prison. This is a stupid way of managing problems, and it's comfortable for you to do that. It is. But there is, you don't do anything with sense like this. You only take the easy part, so you can do whatever you want after. And this might be with drug addicts, maybe even with people homeless. It's everyone that basically suffer, needs to find by themselves a solution. That's the general opinion. But you still live in a government, okay? And still the government can tell you basically what they do based on very weird stuff, because I saw an interview, okay? I don't want to say who, because I'm not here to point the finger against people, because I know people, even the politician, it's not even their fault. They're simply stupid, very stupid. They don't have brain. Many people don't have brain. They don't have time to think. Poor, a little bit poor stuff. You know, they're the real drug addict. People that doesn't think. Okay, so first point: drug addiction is a problem of the government and not the individual. The second point: I saw this interview of a person, and this person was a politician that was speaking against, for example, decriminalization of or legalization of cannabis, for example. And this surprised me because this person said, "Yeah, we give to the doctors." Okay, a politician said, I said, "Cool, interesting. We give it to the doctors, and after if they say that's good, we will think about it. So you are not given to the doctors. You're still have the power. You're not giving to the doctors. You're still the politician. You're still there to sing it if you want. Even if the doctors would say this is good, they would say actually no. And the something that even bothers me more than this, other than this, is after I say, yeah, you see, in Europe and in USA, they push us towards legalization of cannabis because they are a big company that wants to make money on it. And here you see the opposite, like the ignorance, the things that no one knows shit. They might be big company that push for it, but they might also not be big company that pushes for it. This is not the problem. This is the problem that it takes in consideration. Is this something right to do? If you do that, could you after treat people as patients? Like this is an index that I'm creating to evaluate the advancement of a government of a government based on their political stance, based on their political position over individuals that they lives in it. Because I think government has their working right now. They're old. They're very old school, and they needs reformed. It needs a lot of reform here in politics. They don't work. Like I can see it. Young people don't want to vote. They don't vote anymore. They vote with the manifestation, and some of them, most of them, they don't care about voting, because there is some kind of they lose hope in voting. Many people are losing hope in voting. They see voting as ignorant. They see voting as you might vote, but after what you feel powerless. You don't feel and you say, yeah, but if you feel powerless, blah blah blah, you can go vote and that's how you become powerful. That might be true. I'm not saying not. I'm saying that there is a lot of difficulties in making people understand that they don't feel they don't feel represented by anyone. Many persons are not feeling represented today. They are not interesting faces in politics. They all dress the same, for example. This is how it's possible. They all dress the same. Many all politicians dress the same. How can you believe it? Like, well, it's a little bit weird, no? Like the fact that you dress the same, it's already for me destroy your character how you dress. But I'm not saying that you should dress, whatever. But my point is that they are representing a figure. When you dress all the same, they're representing a figure that they think is the one that is right. They're not representing a figure that I don't know. And the one that does try to not dress the same. After you see them and you see very very weird way in how they dress. You see that there is a message behind how they dress. It is not necessarily the right one. For example, they wanted to be dressed all white, like they are savior or they are pure. This is very very bad stuff, huh? Because I saw in Italian politics, I saw this ignorance behind it. Like I saw these people that are going politics. Right now they are so much powerful and they are so much stupid because you can see when they speak. It don't make sense. They invented words only to make the people pleased. Like what is this word? Like what does it mean? For example, it means nothing. It's an easy word that you might try to deduct the meaning of it, but it's not a real word. And this is something that really worries me because it means that they are treating people as idiots. And they won. Seems that they are more idiots than not, and I agree with it. Another stuff that I wanted to do is that's it probably. I'm I my at the end of my index will say that legalization of drugs is important. Is an argument that needs to be seen on exterior point of view, because when you start to legalize drugs, then you see the person not as a criminal, and this is something really important for a government. For me, to see a government that is advanced is a government that see the people that are in difficulties are as a victim, and if the people that are in difficulty as a victim, you know, might be fault of the government, might be fault of the government in some way or another. Because I want to give another example around now. You, for example, live in a city when there are 2,000 people that lives there, right? And there is no way that you can go out from the city because there are public transport, doesn't come the weekend, for example. They come one time every 4 hours, something like this. And everything that can be found is not near to you. There is no possibility to be near to you. And yeah, what else you have to do? Like, you understand that a routine kills you. Like, and this is one example. Okay, one example is that you will see a very high amount of people that use beer or get drunk or whatever in places that are very isolated. Okay, so isolation or an environment that is not nice is an environment that will spawn people to have fun in different ways. Okay, you think that these ways might be wrong. Okay, but what do you know? How do you know? Like, did you, for example, try to live there? Did you see how it is to live in a place like this? Like, many people that does laws against or for drugs, somehow the one that does for drugs, most of them try it. Some of them don't. The one that does against, almost every one of them, they never tried drugs, and they don't know the reason why someone should use them. So, or when I'm speaking drugs right now, before I was saying everyone uses drugs. When I'm intending drugs, for example, everything that can be an addiction for me is a drug. Now I'm speaking drugs, for example, the chemical way. Okay, so not necessarily everything that can be addiction, because this person that didn't try drugs, but they say no to drugs. They say no only to chemical drugs, but they're okay to using everything else. Okay, so this is already very stupid. Okay, very stupid, very stupid, because you're speaking about something that you have no idea about it, and you still have the power of giving your opinion. And this is okay. You can do that. All opinion matters. The thing is that there is not enough criticism against those people. They don't get criticized. They get almost seen as an angel or something like this. Surprise, you're not. I'm so tired of all these things. Like, I'm doing this video because I'm tired of many stuff. Like, every day I found something that I'm pissed at. Actually, it really bothers me. It really bothers me.